Hey, what is going on, guys? This is Jason with Jadren Aquatics. Thanks for hanging out with me in the fish room today. This time I want to talk about where you can actually sell your fish to. And I want to go in order from the most profitable until the least profitable. There's lots of different avenues that you can take, and depending on where you live will have a lot to do with how many people are available. Again, if you live out in the country and you don't have many people around you, you're not going to have as much opportunity to make as much money. You're pretty much stuck to having to go online. So when I give these examples, you got to take them as they are. Some of them are going to be for you and some of them are not going to be for you. So let's go ahead and let's move ahead and let's talk about the one that can make you the most money. The one that can make you the most money is selling locally and being able to list on some place that's free. So the first one that would be free would be listing your stuff on Craigslist. Now if you list your stuff on Craigslist, you don't have to pay any type of fees, and then people can come by your house and pick it up. If you're not comfortable with people picking up at your house, you can go meet them somewhere. You have the ability to make the most profit, but because of it being Craigslist, you're not going to have a huge amount of people that are going to be on there looking for fish. So you might not be able to sell it for as much as you could when you list it on some place that has a much bigger a crowd of people. So the next thing we want to look at is being able to sell at a local swap. You're going to have some type of fish association to be able to do this. You may have one local, or you may have one where you have to drive, let's say an hour and a half to get to. A lot of the swap meets that are put on are totally free. So again, now you've got a place where you can go and you can sell your fish and you're not having to pay any type of fees whatsoever. And now you're going to get a pretty big crowd because everyone that's there are pretty much people that are going to be looking for fish or fish supplies. Now the best way to find these associations, if you're not currently a part of one, is get online and just do a search for tropical fish associations. You'll find a bunch of different listings that'll point you in different places. There's a lot of them that seem to be gone now, and there's a lot of the ones that are kind of there but they're not terribly active. The ones that seem to be the best are the ones that you see posting on Facebook and having an active group. That's where you're going to be able to sell for the most, because you're going to have the most people that are going to be coming to their events and willing to spend money. Okay, so the next one would be an auction. Now your auctions are, again, they're put on by some of your local fish clubs. And again, gonna have to find your local fish clubs like we talked about earlier. Now, whenever you sell at an auction, you have some limiting factors on it. Now, typically, you're only able to bring so many fish, or so many bags of fish is the way that it works. So you're limited to the amount that you can bring. The other thing is you have absolutely no control at all at what your fish are gonna sell for. You could have some fish that are gonna sell for 3 or 4 times more than you ever expected, and then you're gonna have some fish that may end up towards the very end of the auction when a lot of people have gone and people have run out of money, that may sell for 200 or 300% for less than what you were asking for them. So this is kind of the one where you just don't know exactly what you're getting into. A great place sometimes to go to get some great deals, but sometimes it's not the greatest place to sell. Again, it all depends. There are some communities that are highly active and everything sells for high. Again, you just don't ever know. But it's some of the funnest things that you can actually do. Now the ones that we're going to talk about now deal with having to ship your fish. So the reason this one is typically moved a little bit farther down the line as far as possibility of making more money is because of the cost that's involved to ship your fish. Now, granted, the post office will provide the boxes that you need, but it takes a lot more than a box. And a lot of people don't realize the cost that's involved, because first of all, you've got a bag that you've got to buy, and if you're not buying thousands of bags at a time, they can get kind of expensive. The next thing is you don't want to just take your bag and just put it in a box. You want this thing to be in some type of climate controlled. And so you're going to want to have styrofoam on the inside cut down on all the different sides to keep the heat or to keep the cool in it. So that styrofoam, if you're not buying a lot of that stuff can get expensive. That styrofoam alone may cost you $2 just for that one single box. And then the other thing you have to deal with is whether or not it's too hot or too cold where you're shipping from and where you're shipping to. So now you may have to put a heat pack in there, and now the heat pack may cost you $1 or something, or you may have to put a cold pack, which is going to cost you $1 or something. So you have all these extra added costs on top of what it costs to ship. Now, yes, you can pass all these costs on to the people that are buying from you, but they're not going to pay as much for the fish. The first one we're going to talk about is selling on Band. You may ask yourself, what the heck is Band? Band is a thing that's kind of like Facebook. It's an app that's out there. You've had a tremendous amount of the fish people and shrimp people and a lot of the pet people altogether who have moved to Band because Facebook has come down with such heavy restrictions where you can't hardly sell on Facebook anymore. The only way that you can really sell on Facebook is you actually have to create your own business page. Now, you can create a business page and be able to sell off that, and that's another opportunity to make money, but you have to have people that like your page to ever see anything that you have up for sale. So let's go back to Band now. Now, Band, you don't have to do that. You just have to be a part of a group. So you can download the app from Band, and then you can search some of the fish groups. You can find, sometimes you can find fish groups that are local, so it's possible you could sell something and someone could pick it up. Or you're going to be put in a situation again where you're going to have to actually ship it. Now, Band is limited because it's not designed to sell stuff, but you can. So a lot of times they'll have auctions on Band, but it doesn't work like eBay does where it's all automated. All of the bidding is done by people commenting. So that can get kind of confusing because an auction may actually end at 7 o'clock, but if someone bids within 5 minutes, or they bid like at 7:04, then the auction is now extended for another 5 minutes. But the good thing is whenever you have an auction on there is you don't have to pay any fees whatsoever. But again, you're back to the point, you don't really know exactly what it's going to sell for. But you can start the bidding at whatever number that you want. So if you want at least $30 for it, you start it at 30. It might not sell, but it didn't cost you anything to list it. So Band is another great one that you can use. The next one we can use is GetGills.com. GetGills is a site that allows you to list any type of fish that you have for sale. But here you're going to have to pay a small percentage on any sale that you make. But again, at least you're getting your product out there in front of a lot of different people who are actually into fish. And the system is already all set up for you, so you basically create your own little store and you list your items on there, put your pictures, the price you want, you can set up all the shipping, and then people can just come in there and buy stuff as they want. And the other one that you can use is called AquaBid. Now AquaBid is the eBay version of fish. So you can put all sorts of fish up there for sale. There are a lot of people that use AquaBid, so now you're in front of a very, very big audience. So now you can put your fish out there and you can put them up for sale. But like eBay, you can control your pricing structure on those because you can actually put something up for sale as a buy it now. So if you want $30 for this pair of guppies, you can put it up there, not as an auction, but as a buy it now for $30. Or if you're willing to roll the dice and have the ability for it to go way more than $30, you can put it out there for $1 and let people bid on it, and you can set it to go for 5 days or 7 days or whatever the different settings that you would want to do. Okay, so now the next one is eBay. You can actually sell them on eBay. The reason that eBay falls after these other ones is because eBay is going to have the most expensive fees. Everything I said about AquaBid applies to eBay. So we can move on to the next one. All right, so let's say you have been absolutely killing it. You've been going to swaps and selling stuff, and you're auctioning stuff off on AquaBid, and you got people coming to your house picking stuff up, and you got fish just growing out everywhere. And you've got so many fish now that you can't possibly sell enough through all these other means. So the next step up, which is about the highest level you can get without actually starting a fish store, is to set up at a big show like Aqua Shella. Now, to set up at a show like Aqua Shella can be expensive. It's around $600 for a table. But understand, the amount of traffic that you're going to have come by is going to be way more than you could ever imagine. And the other thing is you don't have to ship. You're bringing all the fish with you. But you need to be able to bring a lot of fish to be able to sell there. Now, one of the cool things about there is there's not a lot of competition out there. There's a lot more saltwater than there is freshwater at a convention like Aqua Shella. So you could bring a bunch of fish and you could be the absolutely only person that's out there selling it. Now, if it's bettas that you're bringing, there's usually 2 or 3 people that are selling bettas. But as far as the other stuff, there's not a lot of people out there selling it. So you may think $600 is a lot, but believe me, I know people that go up there and set up, and I hear some of the numbers that they come back with how much they sold. And the problem that usually that they have is they absolutely ran out of fish because the demand was so much. All right, there you go, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this. If there is something that I missed that is another way of selling that you currently use, be sure to leave a comment down below with what that is so I can check that out also, because I'm always looking for new ways to also sell fish. So you guys got any questions, you got any comments, be sure and leave them down below. So thanks again, guys, and God bless.